Allison Howe, and today I will be demonstrating how to perform CPR, under which circumstances CPR is necessary, and steps to take before administering CPR. First and foremost, CPR should only be performed in specific circumstances, not just when you think that it's needed. It should be performed when a person shows 0 signs of life. This means the person is unresponsive, no pulse, and there's no breathing. In these circumstances, CPR is definitely necessary. Secondly, the steps to follow before administering or giving CPR are just as important as actually doing it. Your safety is just as important as the person you're trying to save safety. You need to verify that you and the person you're trying to save are kept safe at all times. Step 1 is to check scene safety. Just survey the area before where the person is to verify that you and your person are not in a dangerous area where both of you can be injured even more. You need to make sure that you're not in a dangerous area before beginning the process. Step 2 is to approach the person and tap them on the shoulder and shout, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" It is important to shout as sometimes they cannot always hear you due to the circumstances that they're under. If they are unresponsive, of course they will not respond, but this is just good to verify whether or not they're actually in need of CPR. Step 3 is to call 911. This varies depending on the circumstance. If you approach a person who seems to have been unconscious or non-responsive for a long period of time, you would need to begin CPR right away and then call 911 after you've done a full minute of CPR. So that would include 30 compressions and 2 rescue breaths, and you do this for at least a full minute and then run to call CPR and get an AED if you are by yourself. However, if you are not by yourself, you would immediately begin CPR and have a bystander call 911 and retrieve an AED. But if you do find that you witness the person fall and become unresponsive, that is when you should call 911 immediately and then begin administering CPR. You'd start by holding your hands like this. So you lace one finger, your dominant hand goes under, and you lace your non-dominant hand over this to make sure that you have complete stability. And then you place this on the lower end of the sternum. So right here, you can feel it right before it's between the pecs and then on the lower end of the ribs. So you place your hands, you lace your fingers and lock them like this and place them with the heel of your palm on the lower end of the sternum. On an adult, you need to push at least 2 inches deep into the chest for it to work. If you do not, the compressions won't reach the heart, therefore the blood won't begin to flow again. And sometimes you can crack ribs when you're giving CPR. That means that you're going deep enough. Once you do 30 compressions, you should switch to rescue breathing. This is very, very important. You start by tilting the head back. You place your hand on the forehead and one finger under the chin and tilt the head back to open the airway. You'd seal the breathing device over the nose and the mouth. When you have the breathing device, you should put your bottom hand in a U and your top hand in a V, and make sure that the nose and mouth are completely sealed over. So when you breathe, you should look down the chest and see if the breathing is going through. If it's not, then you know that it's not completely sealed correctly. However, if you do not have the breathing device, you should still open the airway always, close the nose, and then seal your lips over their lips. And always check for rising and falling to make sure that the air you're putting through is adequate. The compression to breathing rate should be 30 compressions to 2 rescue breaths. Compression should be at least 100 beats per minute. They can be anywhere from 100 beats per minute to 120 beats per minute. If it's too slow, you're not doing adequate compressions, and if it's too fast, you can overwhelm the heart, and that's also not good. The compressions should follow the tune, the chorus of Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. So like this. Like that beat, that should follow the beat. That's a pretty good idea of how fast it should be and how many compressions it would take per minute. A basic guide to cover all the steps of CPR can be shown in this chart that I provided. The basic life support chart. These cover just the overall basic things that you need to do before. Obviously, you see the danger and you respond. Your response varies again on how long the person has been unconscious or unresponsive. You either call 911 immediately if you witness it, or complete a full circuit of a 1 minute 30-2 compression rate, then send for help. And then when you're giving the rescue breathing, you need to check for the airway to make sure that nothing's blocking the airway, and check for breathing. And then begin the actual process of CPR in the sternum, and then defibrillation, which comes with the AED, which is what you get when an EMS, or if it's provided for you when you call 911, you direct the person to get an AED. CPR is a vital skill that I think everyone should know. It can save a life. More importantly, you can save a life. It can change someone's life forever, and it can change your life forever. It is important to know how to administer CPR, the steps to give before administering CPR, and when CPR is necessary. I think those are the 3 main points for CPR. Thank you.